Yes, YouTube. Day 48. Um, the journey continues. Um, did a bit of back testing today, which didn't go the best, but I'm aware as to why. So I think the problem that I had was that because I've been focusing on trying to get the perfect entry now, I've been just taking and focusing more on trying to find the entry pattern more than I am trying to find quality setups. So I think that's what I need to remember. Like, I'm still looking for the quality setups, and then I'm waiting for the entry pattern to happen. Once I find the quality setup, like, I should already have confidence in the setup, is what I'm trying to say. I shouldn't just draw out every order block and then wait to see what entry pattern presents itself, because then when one presents itself, I have to go, ooh, am I in a good one? Am I in a strong position? I think what I should be doing is watching and keeping an eye on for price playing out, and then waiting for the entry pattern to show itself when it's in a quality zone I've already pre-drawn out. So I know that then once price hits that zone and it shows me the pattern, I'm in. I think that's what I was doing today with my back testing. I was just looking more for the entries and disregarding looking or making sure that I'm only like considering quality zones. Ranges as well. I think I was trying to figure out high probability zones the other day, and I was like thinking, oh, it needs to be in line with like a higher time frame order block, like a 1 hour or 30 minute, and also like it needs to be like at the bottom of a range, like at the bottom of the range, so there's no unmitigated price that it could be drawn to. And I think that's more what I need to be focusing on, is that, like, figuring out the range that I'm in, making sure, like, remembering to be looking for liquidity, where's been taken, what is next, and then figuring out a high quality zone within the range that I'm in. Because if I'm always looking for stuff to align with, unmitigated, the unmitigated part of the range and the higher time frame order block, then I'm gonna be getting like one trade a week, if that. So it needs to be a blend of that. It needs to be higher time frame zones are always going to give us more probability, but I'm not trading the higher time frame. Like, if there's a zone that's not in the higher time frame, then it just needs to be thought of as all time frames are the same. It needs to be thought of as, where are we in the range of that time frame that I'm looking at. I don't think it needs to always be in line with the higher time frames. And even my entry pattern, like, sometimes I think I'm missing things because I'm not getting two taps. Whereas I think every time I do get a good entry, I get at least one tap, a clean tap that doesn't um that doesn't close inside of the zone on a 1 minute or the 5 minute. And I think that's what I'm almost trying to. That's what I'm almost losing by aiming for two taps. Is that, like, I'm almost, like I was saying, waiting for the taps to tell me that this is a good zone. Whereas I think that I should actually instead be finding zones that I feel like are good, waiting for one tap. And then instead of putting the stop loss above the first tap, just put the stop loss above the high. Like, that was always something that was good about my deep discount fib strategy, was that I'd always have the stop loss like a pip above the swing high. So, like, okay, the risk to reward has to go lower, but you're gonna get more wins because you're not getting stopped out. like a couple times I think in the back test it's either going to be uploaded before this or after this, but I think at least once or a couple times like I got stopped out because my stop loss was too tight, and there was one time that I'm actually thinking about. I think it was I was back testing the EU, and it was like I was sitting there thinking to myself, should I just put the stop loss above the high just to be safer? I just didn't. And I was like, why didn't I do that? I think having the tap is a nice confluence, because it's like, okay, I've got a rough idea where I can put my stop loss, but stop loss is supposed to be like the thing that you put in place for if your trade goes the opposite way. You say, okay, if it goes too far this way, I'm done. If you really think about what a stop loss is, that's what that means. If it goes too far that way, I'm done. So like tight stop losses actually don't make that much sense. I also want to start looking at how to scale in, because there's a few traders that I've listened to like talk, and like they are good at scaling in, and that's what makes them more profitable. Like there's actually 3 traders I can think of that I've watched on YouTube who talk about it, and they seem to be able to cut their losses more by scaling in, and they seem to be able to get bigger wins by scaling in. So I definitely want to learn how to do that, but to be honest, to start with, I just need to get good at analysis and entries, and then we can look at scaling in later. But yeah, today's been good. Last night I didn't get the best sleep, I can't lie. I just could not get to sleep, and then I kept waking up, and yeah, it wasn't good. But yeah, tomorrow's a new day, and I think I might start live trading. Well, jumping back on actual trading, because I think I've done enough back testing now. I've been back testing for like 2 weeks straight, so I think it's time to just be forward testing, and because that's when my patience is going to be tested. So yeah, I'm going to probably start forward testing tomorrow. My FCMO account is pretty much done, so I'm just going to kind of use it with really low percentage risks just to keep the account. So if I start winning, like, it might come out, but if it loses, then it loses. Like it's kind of a dead account at the moment already. But yeah, tomorrow's a new day. Let's get it.